All right, welcome everyone. How are you today? My name is Wilfred, and I'm a UX designer. And so today I am going to talk to you about a web design project that I did called Tech Team. Okay, it's a project that I've had on the back burner. It's basically my calling card for web design, the web design work that I do. A lot of it has come because of this concept that was really a philosophy that turned into a concept that turned into my calling card. But I feel like as a tool, I really never implemented it. I never really made it available. I didn't push it hard enough. So now I think is a great time to do that because, as they say, opportunity comes under the most unusual circumstances. And as you know, right now, a lot of people are being laid off, unfortunately. And so that's going to put a lot of strain on recruiters because they're already dealing with people in the job market, and now you have an influx of newer people, right? And so when you think about that, it can actually cascade. Recruiters can actually burn out, let alone is it even any equity to it all? Is there any equity to how recruiters find candidates? And I said to myself, well, what if we gave them a great source, a great tool to accomplish the equity part, acquiring candidates, without having to deal with an abundance of paper, right? Save the planet, right? I'm not even sure if they print resumes out, but I'm pretty sure they do at some point, right? So save the planet. And let's be practical from a candidate's perspective, from a job candidate's perspective. 1,000 cover letters and resumes just isn't productive. I don't think so. That's a lot of work, and that's not where you should be focusing your energies on. But I digress to that. We'll talk about that later. I want to give a shout out to Webflow. Shout out Webflow. I love your platform. I heart Webflow. I love your platform. I'll probably evangelize for you guys next quarter. I'll get some content together because you guys do right by me. Oh man, even like one of my favorite UX things about Webflow was like when you go to delete the site, it actually makes you type in the whole site. It's pretty cool. So it's alerting you that you're deleting this part of your project, which is pretty cool. I know maybe it's not a big deal to everyone, but it is to somebody like me. So anyway, shout out to Webflow, most elegant backend I've ever seen for the designers. I love Webflow because you can use a little bit of code, but you don't have to. It's really no code, but you can use a little bit of code, which is cool. You can use a lot of code, but not really. I mean, they don't really make you have to use a lot of code. Most of it is done for you. And the CMS portion of your site, as I'll show you, our CMS is just so elegant. It's hands down, there's nothing better than setting up a CMS in Webflow. Okay, so we have my site Tech Team, which is a source for recruiters to find candidates. Now, how do I pitch this to recruiters, right? Well, this is what I came up with. So I said to myself, what is a concept? What research do we have that shows this way is better than the way we're doing it now, right? And I said, I came across in my research a social science philosophy called Dunbar's number. And so basically what it is about, you can check it out and research it yourself, but basically humans can only maintain 150 stable relationships. That's it, 150, right? When you think about how many candidates recruiters have to identify, bring it into the pipeline, go through the different stages, I know it's way more than 150, right? So does that benefit them? Does that benefit the company? Right? What is it? It's like judgment fatigue or something like that. Does that benefit the company? Does that benefit the candidates? Right? Where's the equity in this? Because does that mean if you're not the first 50 applicants in there, then what happens to the other X amount of applicants who put their resumes in? Right? How many positions are even open? Right? So all these things come in, and I said, well, 150 is the max, and I'll get to why this works in a moment. But 150 is the max that every recruiter should deal with. And then this is why. This is the research, what the research says, right? And also, as people are hired from, I guess you could call it a cohort, we replace them with newer people. So now we have equity. So we have 150 for UX and 150 for data science and 150 for software engineering. And I know what you're thinking. Well, what about the thousands of other people that are waiting? Well, that's cool because guess what? We can have columns. So you have a column A, 150, column B, 150, column C, 150, column D, 100. You get the idea, right? So really, we can accommodate everyone. And there we have the equity. The same way, I guess you queue in line, which we accept, right? We all are in a tacit agreement to accept being queued in line. You go to McDonald's, you go to a restaurant, you go to the rental car agency, you board a plane, right? It's a way of life, right? You go to court, right? It's a way of life being queued in line, right? So now let me show you tech team, right? Let me show you the heart of tech team. The heart of tech team is right here in our profiles. Like I said again, only 150 right now per cohort, 150. Another column can be another 150, and et cetera, et cetera. But basically, all a recruiter will be able to see is 150, 150 people, and immediately be able to connect with them by books that they read, what have they built, right? And if they click on their profile, they would then be able to see their YouTube interview pitch link, their portfolio link, and their Medium blog post link. So think about it. You can't fit so much stuff in a cover letter. You can't fit so much stuff in a resume. But on your Medium blog, you could share your knowledge of journalism about your job every day, the job you have for the last 5 years, the trends, the difficulties, things you will overcome, right? You can fit all that in a blog that a recruiter will actually be able to ingest timely, to skim, right? To look at the highlight, look at what you're talking about. Ask you about it in the interview, right? Give you something to discuss in a passionate and way that shows your expertise, right? And maybe even say, hey, wait a minute, we need this variable, and they blogged about this whole thing. Oh my goodness, they might be perfect for this specialized niche requirement of the job that we didn't even list, right? Okay. So, and then of course, they want to get in touch with you. They can email you, put in their name, email you. All of this is open, of course, to candidates, but recruiters will have a password. So don't worry about being spam. Recruiters will have a password, but the recruiter can contact you by name, email address, current profile name, and message you and submit. And that's it. You're in touch with a recruiter. So for the candidates, this is a great way to put yourself out there. You have nothing actually to lose. And I'm going to make this available to recruiters everywhere because guess what? I'm pretty sure recruiters don't want to look at document dumps every day. I'm pretty sure of that, right? Even they use a software. That's how bad it's gotten, right? They use a software. So is that equity? Again, get back to that. I probably need to put that in there about why this is the best form of equity out there for recruiting candidates. So you see my picture. Now, how do you get a profile? Well, remember I told you earlier about Webflow and their CMS being so elegant. It's brilliant. Well, this is an example. It's not very clever, but it does a job. This is the CMS right here, but it's a profile registration form. Basically, you fill it out with your name, your email address, your career title, profile link to your picture, a picture link, books you have read. I believe books are very important as they relate to your job. What have I built? What have you built, right? This is tech. What have you done that is something you can show and discuss, right? You have your video link. You put that up on YouTube, that you put up on YouTube or wherever you put a link to your video, interview pitch, whatever you put up, the Medium link to your blog, and of course your portfolio, right? And so with those, and then you hit submit. And then on the other side, we create the profile card for you. So we do all that for you, okay? Now, the great thing about it, and one thing about me, right? So I like tabs. When I design, I like tabs. I don't like to have to hit this. I hate this right here. This is not even what it was supposed to be used for, going back and forth, but we'll talk about that some other time. But I hate that. I like tabs. I like tabs. When I'm on one website, I need every part of it open so it just makes it easier to navigate. I don't know. It's just me. I feel comfortable like this. This I don't like. It's too small. It draws my eyes to the left, and it's just awful. And I might hit this by accident, and then it's just just a mess. So anyway, I like tabs. But anyway, getting back to the point of Tech Team, right? You have a way for recruiters to now go in here, look at candidates, and literally make it equity, because they can just go left to right, top to bottom, right to left, but it's equity now, right? All these people, this is the first 150 people to put their resumes in. The next 150 people, so everybody's getting seen. That's the most important part. Everybody's getting seen. And, if you are back out here in the job market, unfortunately, please reach out to me, DM me. Let's get you set up with a profile. There's no cost. You have nothing to lose. It's a tool I'm going to market and reach out to recruiters. And again, it's going to be a free tool for recruiters. It's going to be password protected. Every recruiter will get their own password and have access to it. And that's simple. It's it. That's all I got to say. So if you're looking for another way to get out here in the job market, come and talk to me. Let me help you out. And let me, put this great tool to use. And I'm pretty sure you would be satisfied with the results you're getting, because we know what is the other alternative, right? We know you got to do 150. We know you got to do 1,000 cover letters and resumes, or leverage your network. You can do that, or you can fill out this profile registration form, get your profile created, and I send this source out to recruiters everywhere. And I know recruiters are going to use it. I even have a couple of people in the recruiting sphere in my LinkedIn that I'll send it to. How about that? You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and get you set up. That's all I got to say. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach me on LinkedIn. And let's talk some more. My name is Wilfred, and I'm signing off. Thank you for listening to me.